Christians aren't even supposed to provoke each other, right? So
Yeah.
it's like once I started realizing like some of the things and like seeing a little bit clearly what it was, it helped me to forgive them because number one, they have a lot of mental health challenges. So I think once you understand mental health challenges, even like once you understand like deliverance and things like that, you can
Yeah.
clearly see it for what it is and you start to have more compassion than anger because it's like I look at them and I'm like, of course they did that. They did not know any better. They did not have any tools or resources. They have not read the Bible. They have, they don't pray.
Yeah.
That like once you add up all the math, it's like, how could you still be holding and harboring on to this negative emotion towards these people that are actually living in misery?
Right.
And that was like, that didn't feel right. It's like, why am I mad at them? But also, what would happen is I would get triggered when I would talk to them. So one of the things I had to do is create some space like, hey, I love you, but I can't talk to you every day.
Right.
Like, hey, I can't answer every call.
Yeah.
It was boundaries. Once I set boundaries, I had enough distance to forgive them. But if I'm talking to somebody every single day, they're still negative, they haven't changed, I'm doing the work, then I'm hanging up with on that call feeling like, oh, that was a failed conversation every single time. But once I accept you are who you are, but there needs to be some boundaries in place, then I can have a much healthier relationship. And that wasn't easy, but it took some time. It took some time of me being like, "Hey, if you're going to talk about that, I can't talk to you today," or you
Yeah.
know, just different things, and that takes courage because if you've been had trauma, your self-esteem is probably low. You look at your parents and your family as your number one authority.
Yep.
You don't want to upset them. So that was probably like a 5 or 6 year journey of all these different things combined, me distancing myself, me setting boundaries to where I could finally forgive them.
Hmm.
And even within that forgiveness, I still don't talk to them a lot because, I pray for them because that's what I can do. That's something I can do within my power, but I can't change them.
Right.
And I'd rather just pray for you because I'm not God. I'm not
Right.
qualified.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's good because, when people aren't willing to like have accountability and, want to grow, it can be exhausting
Hmm.
talking to them. So,
It
putting
is.
those boundaries in place, that's so important, and then I think a lot of times people think forgiveness means like reconciliation or like
Right.
I have to accept you back. And it's like, no, I
Hmm.
forgive you and I love you. I'm gonna pray for you. But like you said, those boundaries have to be in place because I have to protect my heart. I have to
Hmm.
protect my mental headspace. So during that time, I know you had mentioned therapy, that you
Hmm.
did seek therapy, but before you decided to seek therapy and help and stuff, did you have a person that you could confide in or that you could go to and talk to, when things were getting challenging with your parent?
No, I feel like I didn't actually, and that's a really good question because I didn't have anybody to talk to, I feel like I relived a lot of trauma with my siblings all the time.
Okay.
Like I talked to them a lot about a lot of the past and things and where we're in life because it's such a relatable experience, even though each child in the household may have experienced it in a different way, like through their perspective. I could spend all day talking to my mom about mom did this and mom did that and guess what she
Right.
said to me today. And I spent a lot of time doing that and I had a very hard time separating myself from other family members that weren't toxic. So if I had a cousin and I felt like she got me, I'm gonna call her and we're gonna be like, oh, they are a mess, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I did that for years before I went to therapy. So I did not, and I didn't feel like I had a safe space. I didn't feel like I had, and I always sought out like mentors and stuff,
Yeah.
but it was hard for me to find people to connect to. And because of that trauma, because I was connected to them, it was much easier to just talk to them all the time. And what changed that was my brother passed away. And it was 2017. So it's like almost 10 years ago. And there was a church that had a group therapy thing where you could go and talk about it. And I realized like I yap with these people all day and I have literally never grieved. I've
Mm.
literally never done like any type of work, but
Yeah.
talking about it and venting all the time felt like I had like a higher awareness than everybody else. But inside, I was depressed. I was sad all the time. Like, all of that talking and not having any guidance or like anybody to even just pray for me, I think it was making my mental health worse. I honestly.
Yeah.
Hmm.